Usyk?
He's quite upset about the situation, what happened in the first fight, but you can't change it. It is what it is. And he obviously wants to put in his mind.
He's not ready. The brutal truth about Daniel Dubois' rematch with Usyk, he's not ready. Plain and simple. That's the harsh reality echoing through the boxing world right now. Daniel Dubois may be preparing for a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, but the consensus among experts is brutally clear. He's stepping into a storm with... And the voices sounding the alarm aren't casual observers. They're seasoned professionals who've lived and breathed this sport. Their verdict? Dubois isn't evolving, he's unraveling. And the cracks in his game aren't subtle anymore. They're wide open and bleeding under the weight of criticism. Let's start with Joe Rogan. He might not throw punches for a living, but when Rogan...
The first round, he hit him with a left hook and then a right hand as he was going down. Prepared as a monster. So
speaks, people listen. And what he said about Dubois wasn't just a critique, it was an autopsy. Rogan didn't simply retell a story about Dubois getting knocked out in sparring, he exposed a serious flaw: fragility. According to Rogan, Dubois was getting sparked in training, and that's
for a round or two.
First time he gets cracked, it's gonna, I guarantee you, his head's gonna be like, oh shit.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
How many rounds is it?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
It's a red flag blinking bright before a fight with a pound-for-pound master like Usyk. If you're getting knocked out behind closed doors, how are you supposed to last 12 rounds against a technician who dismantles elite fighters for fun? But Rogan didn't stop at the physical. He went deeper into Dubois' mentality. He painted a damning portrait. When Dubois gets tagged, he panics. His legs go.
More dangerous opponent though, Usyk or Dubois?
I believe Usyk. I believe Usyk is a great fighter. Dubois is a changed fighter from his first fight. But then this is why we had the rematch, to see whether Dubois can overcome what he got stopped with a jab. And he did. A lot of people also.
Survival instincts vanish. That's not how champions behave under fire. That's someone mentally collapsing under pressure. Usyk doesn't just hit hard, he hits smart, with angles, timing, deception. Dubois, as it stands, doesn't look mentally or tactically equipped for that kind of storm. Then came Joseph Parker. He tried to defend Dubois, claiming the young heavyweight had matured and learned from past mistakes. But instead of...
What Dubois' team are clearly overlooking is the fact that if Dubois raises his game, then Usyk will raise his game. Usyk isn't shot, he's not over the hill. He's got plenty of miles left on the clock, I believe. And I think if whatever Daniel Dubois...
The infamous jab that floored Dubois, trying to rewrite the narrative as a sign of growth. Instead, he reminded everyone of Dubois' fragility. And once again, out came the tired excuse, the low blow controversy from their first fight. Worn out, weak, and completely unconvincing. Enter Duke McKenzie, a former world champion who doesn't waste words or pander to hype. He dismantled the fantasy being pushed by Dubois' supporters, that Usyk is fading, slowing down on the decline. McKenzie made it plain, Usyk isn't deteriorating, he's refining, sharpening, getting even better. Dubois may be more measured, more disciplined, but none of that matters when you're facing a master chess player and you're still learning how the pieces move. McKenzie didn't sugarcoat anything. He openly admitted he wouldn't pick Dubois in this fight. That says it all. Even as he tried to stay respectful, his tone and body language revealed a deeper truth. Even the most generous analysts struggle to believe in Dubois' comeback story. Respect aside,
if he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I would pick him to win. But what they're convinced...
You think he is number 2 heavyweight in the world right now?
Yeah.
Reality bites. Then Carl Froch stepped up and delivered the final hammer blow. Froch, known for his blunt honesty, demolished the last refuge Dubois fans were clinging to, the low blow myth. He set the record straight. The punch that dropped Usyk, it landed on the groin. It was illegal. Period. Not subjective, not debatable. Froch, who stood in the ring with killers and never flinched from the truth, explained why that matters. If the shot had been legal, Usyk would have gotten up, because that's what true champions do. The issue wasn't just the foul, it was what it revealed. Dubois and his team clung to that controversy like a lifeline. Instead of accepting defeat and learning from it, they chose denial. That's not the mindset of greatness. That's a culture of excuses. A team more focused on spinning narratives than fixing flaws. Lazy preparation. No real adjustments. And now, on the brink of a rematch, their tone still feels uncertain. Froch's final takeaway was devastating. Dubois didn't just lose. He mentally folded. That's the kind of damage you don't bounce back from easily. and then Floyd.
It's a good shot, it's a body shot. The referee didn't do that. Bottom part of the glove was on the actual shorts, on his scrotum area, really quite low, too low really. So it was a legitimate low blow. Had Usyk been told...
Mayweather. The name alone carries weight. Mayweather didn't say much, but what he did say struck like lightning. He called Usyk a hell of a fighter and praised his incredible amateur background. Coming from Floyd, that's not just flattery. It's a statement. Mayweather has seen it all: brawlers, boxers, technicians, legends, and yet he singles out Usyk for praise. Why? Because Usyk's skill set is elite. His footwork, ring IQ, composure, it's the full package. And Mayweather knows greatness when he sees it. While Dubois is still trying to patch holes in his defense and rebuild his confidence, Usyk is operating like a polished machine. This isn't about who punches harder or who wants it more, it's about mastery. Mayweather knows it. If the greatest defensive genius in modern boxing sees Usyk as special, then the gulf between these two men isn't just wide, it's almost unbridgeable. Even Solomon Dakras, who tried to offer Dubois some credit, couldn't fully sell the transformation. Dakers admitted Dubois has power and a decent jab, but when pressed on real improvements, he hesitated. I don't think I've seen too much.
It's going to be hard to beat him. It's going to be hard to beat Usyk because he's sassy and he outpunched his jab.
Much difference, he said, maybe just more confidence. That's not a ringing endorsement. It's a cautious shrug. If Dubois had really turned a corner, fighters like Dakras would be shouting it from the rooftops. Instead, his tone was reserved, uncertain. He knows what we all suspect: Dubois is still the same fighter underneath. But perhaps the most revealing moment came from Dubois' own trainer, Don Charles. His words, meant to instill belief, did the opposite. They sounded unsure, vague, almost pleading. Charles spoke of growth, of learning, but his message lacked conviction. Deep down, even he seemed to know that this isn't just an uphill battle. It's a climb up Everest with no gear. In the end, the story is simple and sobering. Daniel Dubois is walking into a rematch with one of the most complete fighters of this generation. And the boxing world, from legends to pundits to peers, sees the writing on the wall. He's not ready, and the cost of pretending otherwise might be brutal. Dubois faces the storm again, but this time there's nowhere to hide. Even Dubois.
Difference, I haven't really seen too much difference. I think maybe he's just more confident in the ring, maybe, with the opponents. You know, we know he can punch. We know he's got a good jab. So it might just be a matter of, like I said, confidence in himself. I don't.
His own corner has started to admit it. They got it wrong the first time. Trainer Don Charles confessed that the preparation for Usyk wasn't right. But beyond the coach speak and damage control, the real story is written in the ring. And what we've seen so far hasn't inspired confidence. Their previous failure isn't some unfortunate blip, it's a warning. If Dubois steps into this rematch thinking grit alone will carry him through, he's in for a quicker, more punishing downfall. Then came Dave Coldwell with the tactical reality check. He gave Dubois credit for his power and physical presence, but laid bare the mismatch in styles. Usyk isn't just a good fighter, he's a stylistic nightmare for Dubois. Coldwell said it plainly, even without the controversy of the so-called low blow, Usyk was schooling him, with footwork, timing, and total ring control. It wasn't close. Dubois wasn't just beaten, he was outclassed, left chasing shadows and running out of answers. That's the key difference here. This isn't just brute strength against slick technique, it's about adaptability versus predictability. Usyk
believe in Daniel Dubois as a fighter, that he's got what it takes to be successful against Alan.
This fight
with the same mentality, hoping to bulldoze Usyk with raw force. He's not just going to lose. He's going to get picked apart, humiliated, and stopped. Even without the low blow drama, Usyk was schooling Dubois the footwork, the timing, the ring control, and bullish mindset, but then laid out the real issue. Usyk is a nightmare matchup. It's not just about how good Usyk is playing harder. He's going to get dismantled even faster. Dave Coldwell added the final tactical breakdown. He acknowledged Dubois' strength. The difference here, it's not just about power versus skill. It's about adaptability versus predictability. Usyk evolves mid-round. Dubois throws the same combinations, hoping for the same results. And Coldwell was clear, if Dubois enters, it's about how specifically difficult he is. For someone like Dubois, Coldwell said it best. It wasn't even close. Dubois didn't just lose, he had no answers. That's
he's very confident, very bullish, but Usyk's older, he's had more wear and tear. The fights with Fury have taken a lot out of him. Don't underestimate that. But Usyk's he's a different animal. He's a different animal. And ultimately, you've got to remember, take away that one shot whether you thought it was low or not, that one bit of drama.
Again of the gulf between hype and mastery. Could Dubois land the punch of his life and shock the world? Sure, it's boxing. But more likely, Usyk will prove again why there are levels to this game. Why he's a generational technician, not just a champion but an artist in the ring. And when that happens, no excuse, no controversy, and no spin will save Dubois from the truth. This fight isn't about belts anymore. It's about identity. Usyk fights to solidify greatness. Dubois fights to salvage pride. One is chasing legacy. The other is dodging humiliation. So now the question is simple. Are you betting on a miracle? Or are you ready to watch Usyk remind the world exactly why he's untouchable? Let us know in the comments. Because when the bell rings, the truth won't be polite.